The first reading this morning from the book of Samuel reminds us of the prominent role that King David played in the Old Testament. King David anticipated the coming of the Messiah. His slaying of Goliath would forecast how Christ would battle against evil in the world. David was a shepherd, and he did so anticipating the way Christ would shepherd the people. David would tell us much about the coming of the Messiah. In the second reading, we see that we thank the Father for bringing us out of darkness and transferring us into the light of the kingdom of Christ. We have, of course, in the gospel itself, we have Christ on the cross dying, and hidden there in the story of the resurrection and the reality of the resurrection, we have his kingship, the sign over his head, King of the Jews. The thorns around his head were his crown, and the throne itself was the cross. Indeed, there is hidden here the great hope. And the great hope of Calvary is found in the gospel. It's found in the good thief there. The good thief comes to realize that the man next to him is more than a man, that he is a king. And of course, he says to him, finally after his reverential fear, and by reverential fear, it's not a fear of punishment. Reverential fear is the fear of displeasing someone you love. And we dread the fact that we would offend someone that we love. And the good thief has a reverential fear that somehow gives way to faith in the reality that Christ is a king. And from that faith comes a hope that swells up in his heart. And he finally says, "Remember me when you enter into your kingdom." And immediately a response comes from Christ. "Today, this day, you'll be with me in paradise." This day was more than he ever hoped for, to be with Christ in paradise. We have there the good shepherd who loved, not the good shepherd, the good thief who loved, and the other thief hated. The good thief was saved, and the other thief was lost. There are extremes when it comes to hope. One extreme is presumption, and the other extreme is despair. Presumption is based upon the false hope that we don't have to do anything to be saved. And despair is based upon the false hope of not believing in the mercy of God. Somehow, presumption, it slays faith, it destroys it, and it begets a hopelessness. And the same goes with despair itself. Despair also destroys hope. And we are called to be people of hope, of believing they will be saved through Jesus Christ, no matter what we might experience. Hope is such an important thing in our lives. If Mary Magdalene was saved, if the good thief were saved, then why not ourselves? Why cannot we also participate in the saving that the good thief? Peter denied Christ, but Christ did not deny Peter. The good thief also cursed Christ in the beginning, but Christ did not curse him. Mary Magdalene sinned many times. Christ saved Mary Magdalene. And so it will be with us. We may turn our backs on Christ, but then we have to turn around to see his face once more, and we will be saved. Christ indeed will save us as long as we cooperate with his graces. We turn ourselves around, we turn our thoughts around the way the good thief did, so that we can see the face of Christ and be saved. Let us remember that today's readings are readings of hope. And as Mary Magdalene, St. Peter, and the good thief hoped in Christ, so they were saved. And we also are to hope in him, and we are to cooperate with him in his saving power to receive that mercy. Today is the last day of the liturgical year, the last Sunday, and it's the closing of the year of hope, the year of mercy. But even though it's the closing of these days, hope and mercy will be with us. It's there with us. We only have to participate in this hope, and we will be saved.